was the wrong button. Hello and welcome to A Muggle's Perspective. We're going to be covering chapters 25 through 28 of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Just me today. Just going to be kind of roguey, telling you what I assume Braden's thinking. So you got it's probably looking at like 4 or 5 hours tonight of sort of vamping, just filling time, filling the airspace, and I hope you enjoy it. This is a shout out to all my big fans out there, everyone that requested a solo episode. Hannah mostly just Hannah wanted to hear me, or just wanted Braden to not be on. So this one's for you. This goes out to Storm. Oh, looks like we got a caller here. I never just check the howler as it's happening, but I guess we're gonna bring this person on. Hi, you are live on A Muggle's Perspective.
Hey guys, first time caller, big fan. And I am a Ravenclaw.
Okay, hi, a Ravenclaw.
Forgot my name. Name is Jimothy.
Well, Jimothy, it's good to have you on. We always say we love accents on here, and you're definitely not from the same part of the Midwest as I am, and I can appreciate that. So I look forward to you really having that accent pretty consistently for the next 4 hours as you're my co-host.
Absolutely. I have blocked out the entire night. I'm ready to record until 2 a.m. And talk all about Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's what we're here for, is just talking all about Harry Potter. Normally I'd be here with Braden, who's a muggle. And when I say muggle, I guess I'm saying he's like dumb because he doesn't know anything. So
I could not agree more. I think this episode is long overdue. Need to get that moron off the air. Let's get some intelligent Harry Potter talk on here.
So you're like a longtime listener then, Jimothy.
Long-time listener.
Yeah. What would your thoughts be on, instead of having Braden on, just like a rotating cast of like the regular sort of people we hear from? Like we could have Chad on, we could have Carla on, we have Steven on, my mom. Would that be better, you think, than having Braden?
Absolutely. I like where your head's at.
Okay, I think that'll be good. I don't know how to transition.
I can't do that any longer. Yeah, I'm here, and I'm ready to talk about these chapters.
Good. I'm glad you are. I am ready too. If you're here with us on Chapter 25, The Beetle at Bay, and you've read these 4 chapters or are actively reading them for some reason, and this is how you do that, by listening at the same time, some action-packed chapters, Braden.
Yep, there is a lot going on. A lot of important stuff.
And I feel like this is JKR directly responding to us, complaining about how not quite enough was going on the last couple of chapters.
Yeah, and I appreciate her taking into account my opinion and my feelings.
Yeah,
so
from like 15 years in the future, too, which was
right.
smart of her, yeah.
Yeah, she is skilled.
So starting out here, Chapter 25, The Beetle at Bay, opens up with a newspaper article here. Mass breakout from Azkaban. Ministry fears Black is rallying point for old Death Eaters. So what was your take on that? Just like your first reaction to, okay, I got a big breakout from Azkaban here.
First reaction, the Ministry is desperate here with this Daily Prophet article because, if you really read it, with everything that Harry and Dumbledore have been talking about, it's kind of a stretch, I think.
Yeah, just basically Sirius Black is cousins with one of the 10 escapees.
And we know he's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So he probably broke them all out of Azkaban, all 10 of them, without anybody knowing.
And he waited until now to do it, which was smart of him.
Yeah. Yep, so I think the Ministry is scrambling, and kind of gives an opportunity, as we'll see later on, for Harry to kind of gain some more members on his team, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, it gives Harry's story some credibility. I mean, even before that happened, let's see, if I'm on page 549, something like that, 550, it talks about how students are already kind of like whispering and looking at Harry, but not in a negative way. Like, okay, this is like some nonsense. Like, do we actually have to think about Harry and Dumbledore being right? I mean, it's the only alternate story. Looks like we had some technical difficulties here. Lost Braden, but I am calling him again. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I didn't do video just in case that was what happened, but
That's great.
my Skype just
That'll work.
I looked up and like it was just not there anymore. So I don't know what happened. What's the last thing you heard?
I don't even know now.
I was saying that I think I'm on page 550 here, and it's talking about, so it was true that Harry was the subject of much renewed muttering and pointing in the corridors these days, yet he thought he detected a slight difference in the tone of the whisperers' voices. They sounded curious rather than hostile now. So it seems like they're already, just from the breakout thing, like you said, not super convinced by the Ministry's version of events. They're already looking to Harry and Dumbledore for some truth, for some answers.
Yeah, I mean, at bare minimum, the holes in this line of thinking that the Daily Prophet has put out, at bare minimum, has raised some curiosity or raised some questions with people, which I think is a huge wave of momentum, maybe, for Harry and Dumbledore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a turning of public opinion, some kind of tide, hopefully, at least as far as what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
The next thing I have down is just on the next page, page 551, Educational Decree number 26. And this is where, like, this is just nonsense. Teachers are hereby banned from giving students any information that is not strictly related to the subjects they are paid to teach.
Yeah, it's comedic at this point. Like, I don't, like, at this point you just don't even know where it stops. And I guess I was kind of wondering, like, if this keeps going on and kids bring some of this home to their parents, and when school breaks or whatever, and like, hey, this is what we're dealing with now, like, are kids gonna start withdrawing? Like, will attendance numbers go down at Hogwarts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the long-term play here by Umbridge and the Ministry? Like, you can think that this is going to help in the short term with what you're dealing with at Hogwarts, but like 10 years down the line, you're going to look back at this and like it's not justifiable educationally. Like, this is obvious. It's like an obvious like political move to be doing some of these things.
Yeah. So that's where I think that article plays into that as well. I mean, the students aren't the only ones reading this.
Yeah.
And so if parents are at home reading this kind of thinking, well, maybe there's something to Harry and Dumbledore's line of thinking here, and then their students come home and tell them, hey, like, I can't even, like, I'm not allowed to talk about anything. My teachers can't talk about anything. Teachers are getting fired. Like, it's crazy around here. Like, you wonder if that's going to affect the long-term health of Hogwarts in general, which, as long as Umbridge is in charge, I hope that happens.
Right. Like, let's not prop up the establishment for her.
Right. Right. And I think that at some point this all has to blow up in Fudge's face.
Yeah. I'm sure we will talk here in a minute a little bit more about that topic of people both inside and outside Hogwarts starting to doubt the Ministry line, what we've been hearing so far. Until then, so we've got, just really quickly, a little bit of Umbridge is just watching all of these lessons. She's got Hagrid and Trelawney on probation, and no one's happy about that. But I want to get your thoughts here on page 554. I guess it starts at the end of 553, but it's about occlumency. So this is just another one of those conversations where Harry's like, it's not going well. I feel like it's getting worse, not better. And then he's saying, what if it's the lessons that are making it worse? Like, what if Snape is actively trying to make me more accessible as opposed to less with these occlumency lessons? I wanted to get your thoughts on that theory.
I mean, it's not a stretch in my mind. We don't know that Snape is fully converted from being a Death Eater. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this at length in previous episodes. It seems like an oversight in Dumbledore's. It seems like an oversight for Dumbledore to me to have Snape all alone with Harry teaching this kind of thing. But also raises the question of like, hey, Dumbledore's never given us a reason to not trust him in the past.
Right.
So you kind of have to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, like, as Ron is talking about, like, I mean, it doesn't seem like Harry's improving. And Snape obviously, like, doesn't like Harry. Outside of anything to do with the Order or what is or isn't going on with Voldemort, like, just hates Harry in general. So, like, I mean, we definitely can't confirm that this is actually helping.
Yeah, obviously, there'll be a lot. No, keep going. I'm sorry.
One thing that, and we'll talk about this later, but Harry makes mention, I don't know if it's in this chapter or the next one, that like Snape keeps referring to Voldemort as the Dark Lord.
Yeah, true.
And it was crazy. I was listening to this today, these chapters, and when I heard that, it was kind of interesting because I had been thinking that like the previous 5 or 6 minutes of listening to it, like, man, it seems like the last few lessons of occlumency, like Snape is always using that term, like the Dark Lord, not like who, he who must not be named, like him or anything like that. He's the only one. And so like for Harry to say that, it was kind of like, yes, that's what I'm thinking too.
Right.
And that coupled with what Ron is talking about here made me like probably more skeptical of Snape than I ever have been.
So we're at a peak for you of Snape's skepticism.
Yeah, and I'm choosing, I feel like I've said this a lot lately, I'm choosing to believe that Dumbledore, if Snape is questionable, like Dumbledore's one step ahead and knows that.
Oh, interesting. So Dumbledore's got it set up where if he trusts Snape, but if he's good, then great. And if he's not, then we've still got a backup plan, or like we're going to use it for good.
I think so, because Dumbledore is not, in my opinion, dumb enough to put someone who is a Death Eater convert in the supervision of Harry in this like super fragile time.
Yeah.
Having him teach him something that's like what we would think is super important right now with everything that's going on. Like that seems like way too big of a ball to drop on Dumbledore's part, as like powerful and smart of a wizard as he is. So I like, as skeptical of Snape as I am, I don't have this feeling like, oh, Dumbledore, you're missing it. Like he's going to get him killed.
There's got to be part of a larger plan.
It feels that way for sure.
We're going to move right from super serious occlumency to Harry's date with Cho in Hogsmeade. Like these chapters just really roller coast between like extreme Voldemort situations and like, social anxiety and like Twitterpation of high schoolers.
Yeah. Doesn't go super well.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of clear the floor. All I have written down is Cho. So, like, even without looking it up necessarily, what is your blow by blow of like how the whole Cho date kind of goes down, and like what are some of the reasons for its, let's say, failures or successes?
Um, so the whole thing ends up going downhill because Hermione wants Harry and Cho, well, wants Harry to meet her at the Three Broomsticks to discuss how they're going to combat like this article
Mm-hmm.
in the Daily Prophet,
And like
which
now that
is
we know that, like that makes sense.
right,
Like I
and
get
it's
it,
a good
Hermione.
plan, and it's important, and she is a big help in that way. And thinking ahead, all the things that have made her the MVP in the last few books.
Yeah.
That's great. I thought even when she proposed it that like, man, is this the best timing for this? Like, is this something that we could do later that evening or the next morning?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of inconsiderate. Don't know if it's on purpose or not.
Oh,
With all that being
interesting.
said, yeah, like I'm not saying Hermione wants Harry, but I'm not saying that she doesn't.
Right. And that's important.
That's important, and I think that's going to create more conflict as we go on. But with all that being said, Harry, and I think Hermione points this out to him later, says that he did not have any tact going about how to propose this, and he didn't. She is right.
But Hermione could count on that. Like it's theoretically possible that she could have planned this whole thing knowing that Harry would go into it tactlessly, so it's still his fault.
Oh, I think
Like she set him up to fail.
that's how I think about it.
I
Her
like
intentions were good with what she's trying to get done with Rita Skeeter and all that, and it's super smart. And I think a real MVP move. But I think that there are ulterior motives as well.
So we've got that Hermione seed that's sort of running behind everything. And then there's one other big sort of sticking point between Harry and Cho that does not lend itself to a particularly cheery afternoon together. Cho can be in the middle of any conversation and is like, actually, can we talk about my dead boyfriend that you watched die?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you want to talk about it? Are you just a jerk?
Yeah, so like as tactless as Harry was, Cho is like a hard date.
Yeah. Yeah, like tough
I mean,
crowd.
she is hot and cold, up and down, like can't wait to see you. Let's go into this coffee shop where everybody else is making out and let's talk about dead Cedric. Dedrick.
Yeah, Dedrick.
So that's all around confusing for Harry. So if you're trying to defend him, I mean, that's an easy place to start.
Yeah, she isn't exactly trying to like talk this through with Harry. She's not level-headed.
She's also just sending a ton of mixed signals.
Yeah, true.
Which is easy for me to say from like the guy's perspective or whatever, but like, okay, if you're all in on Harry, like it probably isn't building his confidence for you to continue bringing up how much you miss Cedric. I get that that's there and you have to deal with those feelings. Maybe not with Harry. Maybe with a friend or a counselor at school.
Yeah, she makes it really clear that she feels like she has to deal with it with Harry because Harry knew him through the tournament and like was there during the death.
Yeah, and that's fair.
It seems like kind of a short-sighted way to look at it. He's just like, I told you I was there and he got killed by Voldemort. Like, that's what happened. This wasn't a book with like monologues and stuff. It wasn't Romeo and Juliet situation. Like, he just died. I can't give you more than that.
Well, like, and I would argue that Harry barely even knew Cedric before all this.
Yeah.
So it's not like they had some crazy friendship built through the Triwizard Tournament.
Mm-hmm. So tough stuff for Harry with Cho. Let's see if I can see. That's the Harry and Cho's love life sound going there, which I'm sure you're not happy about, but you're not crazy upset about.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. I think eventually it's going to fizzle out anyways.
Not that you have anything specific in mind that's going to take its place, but
Yep, I have said it before. I'll say it again. He's meant to be with Ginny, or possibly Hermione. I mean,
Ooh.
who are we to say? I don't know.
Yeah, I love that theory. Hermione is, like I said, setting Harry up to fail, putting like not doing the thing, but putting himself in a situation to dig his own grave. And then so like she gets done what she wants, the interview with Rita, which we're going to get to right now, and also Harry and Cho don't go well. She covers her tracks at the beginning of the next chapter.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that moves us on. We've got one last thing, and it's the whole Rita Skeeter thing for this chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, were you expecting this? Was it totally out of the blue?
It was pretty out of the blue for me. I did not. I didn't see this coming, and like I said earlier, like I was pretty impressed with Hermione on this one. Not that I shouldn't like expect that from her. She's always thinking a couple steps ahead, but just using that leverage against Rita Skeeter in this situation is pretty clutch.
Yeah, so I mean basically she says you're going to write this story because I'm making you, and you're going to actually tell the truth about Harry and what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And Rita
Which
basically
has to
says
be pretty humiliating for Rita Skeeter,
Yeah.
like being ordered around by a 15-year-old girl.
I mean, like, I don't feel too bad for her because at the end of the day, she wrote a super successful story.
Right.
Like, spoilers, for the next chapter, but like this works out for her and from a career move perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, it does
So-
for sure.
But yeah,
And I
mean,
think
it's not-
Hermione probably knew that too,
Yeah.
going into it. Like,
it's going to be something everyone's going to want to read, good or bad.
yeah.
Because when Rita keeps saying like no one wants to read that, it's against public opinion. People want to read this certain type of story. Like that just doesn't seem true at all. I feel like people are going to want to read anything about Harry Potter they can get their hands on, and then they'll do the job themselves of twisting it negative if they have to, if they feel like they have to.
Right.
And then Luna's just there. Luna's literally humming "Weasley is our king," like just sitting there while Harry and Ron and Rita have this like really intense conversation about like the political motives of the editors of the Daily Prophet.
That's kind of the summary of Luna throughout this book so far, right? Like she's just there.
Yeah. So that's good. Anything else on this chapter before we get to Do We Care? A lot of strong Do We Cares.
No, let's see what we care about.
Okay. So, do we care? I skipped over this in the beginning about the death of Broderick Bode. It's the second Daily Prophet article at the beginning of the chapter.
I didn't when I first read it. The more we learn in later chapters, you feel like you need to care about it a little bit.
Yeah, Harry and Ron and Hermione keep bringing it up in relation to Harry's dreams about like the weapon at the Ministry.
Right. Yeah, I think it's an important clue moving forward as to what Voldemort is doing and where he's at.
It's going to tie in somewhere, but it's just hard to say right now what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, so we care.
Do we care about the probations with Trelawney? I mean, this isn't really fair because we know how this stuff plays out, so we'll skip that one, I guess. Do we care about the description of Neville's improvement and DA lessons? This is the chapter where we get those like 3 paragraphs on how well Neville's been doing in learning all these new spells.
Yeah, I do care because, and I think I've said this already, but I think this is the book. This is like Neville's coming out party in this book. I think that he is going to be important in the face-off with Voldemort and or the Death Eaters at the end of this book, Miles Beneath the School.
So we care in that it is confirming your existent theory.
Yeah, like I think that as much as JKR has made an effort so far in this book to like weave Neville into the story and talk about the backstory with his parents, and like you said, we're taking 3 paragraphs to talk about how much he's improving. I just think this is the book where Neville finds some confidence, finds some purpose, especially with the Death Eaters breaking out and Bellatrix Lestrange, the one who tortured his parents, like he's got some vengeance on the brain, I think.
Oh, yeah. And he keeps saying that, like, people need to know about not only
Right.
what he can do, but what his Death Eaters can do.
Right.
So he makes that pretty clear. Do we care about Madame Buddyfoot's, this coffee tea shop?
I think it's a little weird. She just hosts this place for teenagers to come in and make out. But overall, no, I don't care.
Okay. I think that's what we've got for Do We Care on this. That was not. I was just going to press a random one and hope that it applied, and that one didn't work. There we go. Do We Care? Chapter 26, Seen and Unforeseen. Kind of a lot going on in here as well. Another pretty packed chapter. Let's see. So the first point I have here is Hermione's explanation of like what Harry did wrong and why Cho didn't like it. Harry's lack of tact. So I guess you could see this one of two ways. This could be sincere, or this could be like her, showing the receipts like, oh, look, I didn't try to break you up. You should have just done this and this. Like it's her, she could be covering her tracks, like I said, about doing this on purpose.
Yeah, and it was a little bit annoying on her end, I thought, as the reader, because it's kind of like I said, having the feeling that she did all this kind of on purpose.
Right.
It's kind of like a slap in the face to Harry afterwards. Like insult to injury a little bit. Like, oh wow, Harry, you really were tactless. How could you say it like that?
So we're on 572 here. She's like, you shouldn't have told her you wanted to meet me halfway through your date. And Harry's like, that's what you told me to tell her. She said, you should have told her differently. You should have said it was really annoying, but I'd made you promise to come along to the Three Broomsticks, and you really didn't want to go, and you'd much rather spend the whole day with her, and you think I'm ugly. It's like, who thinks like in paragraphs like that, Hermione?
Right, like she thought about this beforehand. I think that's the paragraph that gives her away.
It's like, methinks thou doth protest too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good point by you there about gives it away that's been premeditated.
Yep, I don't think that's just off the top of her head. Which, to be fair, like, yes, I think that she knew all that and kind of like set Harry up for that, but Harry also like didn't think it through. Like there is some truth to what she's saying.
Next point I've got here, occlumency lesson.
Yes.
Wait, did I put these in the wrong order? I did put these in the wrong order. That comes later. Okay, the next point is the article has been printed. They get a copy of it, and then they start getting mail. So we alluded to this conversation earlier, but to see what you thought about all these letters they're getting. People agree, disagree. The effect that the article seems to be having on the school and the wizarding community at large.
Yeah, I mean, it has mixed reviews. They have believers now and people who it just confirmed for them that he's crazy. But I feel like even with the people that think he's crazy, it's still a win because it's getting people talking, and it's kind of throwing a roadblock in what the ministry is doing as far as just like kind of snowing everybody. Like, okay, everything's fine. We've told you everything's fine. There's the Death Eaters have broken out Azkaban, but here's the explanation for that. Everything's still fine. Umbridge is in charge. Like, everybody just go about your business. And this is kind of like just getting that conversation going. So
yeah, I think something that we as readers miss sometimes is that it's not that everyone out there is on Voldemort's side. A lot of people are just like, I I need more information. Like, what happened with Cedric? Like, I don't. That's what Seamus always says, and people are always asking Harry about Cedric, is because they
Right.
don't know what's going on. And so, like you said, even just presenting them with facts is going to win over a lot of people, and it's going to get everyone else. I mean, it at least gives them the job of having to explain that stuff away.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's. I mean, it's super strategic on Hermione's part. Like, even if you don't win everybody out there over to the side of like Harry's telling the truth, you get people talking about it.
Yeah, you have no chance if no one is hearing your side.
Right. Right.
And I just really like this scene where they're sitting down and opening letters, and then Ron's opening one. He's like, and just scanning it through. Okay, this person agrees, or thinks you're crazy. And Fred just like starts opening. He's like, oh, we're opening a bunch of letters. That's cool. Like, I'll open letters with you guys. This person's of two minds. It's just like you can really tell who Harry's friends are. They just kind of like sit down with them and start opening them up. And Umbridge is like, oh, you're breaking the rules by getting too much mail? Detention, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see who they cast for the role of Umbridge in the movie, because I don't have like a clear picture of what I think like. In previous books we've met new characters and I've got like a picture of what I think they'll be, or like an actor or actress that I think would fit the role as I know them from reading it. And
Yep.
like with Umbridge, I don't have that.
Who would you cast as Umbridge right now?
Well, in my head, well, I guess I do have some sort of rudimentary image in my, like, for me it's the teacher from Matilda.
Mrs. Trunchbull?
I think so. It's been a really long
the
time
nice
since
teacher or like the mean
no,
principal teacher
the great
person?
big lady
Yeah.
with like the super tight bun on her head.
Yeah, Madam Trunchbull or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a 1/3 scale model of Madam Trunchbull.
Yes.
Okay. I like that works as far as like the toad face thing.
I think that's where I get it.
Yeah. Is there anyone else that you could picture casting, like an actress that you could name, or an actor?
I mean, pretty much the only thing that has come to mind is this Trunchbull lady that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't have any others, but that's a good question.
I mean, I guess most actresses are, like leading actresses are cast because they're beautiful or whatever. So it's hard to pin one of those people down as like an Umbridge situation. But you can use makeup and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Rogge, give me just a second.
Yeah. Gotta pop the
ask
pizza
Hannah a
in.
question.
Pop the freshetta in the oven.
Yeah.
Some kitchen fresh pizza.
What were you asking me?
Do you want me to make you a quesadilla, or do you want to wait until you're done?
It would be really awesome if you made me one.
You want everything in it? Please.
Are we talking like a plain quesadilla? Are we getting some chicken in there? Hey, Hannah.
We got some chicken in there,
Yeah,
some
that would be
tomatoes,
good.
some onion. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's a lot better than just like cheese and a tortilla.
absolutely.
Mix it up a little bit.
All right, I'm back.
So then Umbridge does the thing where she's like, and now you get expelled if you are caught with the Quibbler. Like, you can't read this magazine. And it's just the most obvious thing. Like Hermione says, you're just ensuring that everyone's going to read it.
Yeah, which I feel like, I don't know if Hermione intended that as well, but that is the most brilliant part of all of it.
Yeah.
Is that now even the people who didn't really care, who were just kind of like, whatever, like maybe Harry's telling the truth, I don't know, I'm just going to go to class and do my thing.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, well, now I want to read it.
Right. And it doesn't seem that hard to get around this because you can just like read it up in your room or something.
Yeah. Yeah, this like decree or whatever is laughable at best.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point where it's not even pretending to be official. Like this is it's so specific.
Yeah, it's getting out of control.
Two like this. 2 big ones. 2
Sweet. The next point I had here is Harry's dream. Harry has a big dream about, with a lot of names in it, like Rookwood and Avery and Bode. We're on pages 584 to 585. And I know it feels like all book we've been saying, okay, and then let's get into this dream that Harry had. But this is like, there's straight up like specific conversation going on.
Yeah.
And so
once again, Harry is like in the place of Voldemort.
Yeah. I wondered if you had any theories as to what this discussion is about. I mean, he discusses it with Ron and Hermione, but...
Yeah, I don't really understand it, to be honest with you, but it definitely seems like it's related to this weapon that Voldemort's after, and that, like... is it Avery that Voldemort is mad with? Or, like I said, this was all sort of...
Yeah,
not sure.
So we can run through it here. Voldemort's talking to Rookwood, who's one of the dudes that just got busted out, and who also is one of the dudes that our guy Karkaroff snitched on.
Oh, okay.
When he was like, oh, Snape's a Death Eater, and Barty Crouch Jr., and... Or no, that's just in the movie, where he calls out Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah.
So Rookwood used to work in the Ministry, and he's like, Voldemort, I don't know what you've been doing, but like this plan isn't gonna work. Like that's not how whatever this is works. And he seems like he knows some more in the ins and outs of whatever it is that they're trying to get or do.
Yeah.
And Voldemort's like, but Avery told me it would work. He's like, yeah, Avery's wrong. It was never gonna happen like that.
Yeah, which I find interesting that Voldemort is relying so heavily on other people.
Yeah, not a super Voldemort move, historically.
Right.
But I guess this is just like an area that he doesn't know about. It's not magical theory or just magic. It's like the specific bureaucracy of, something in the Ministry, and he never worked there or anything. So,
right.
I mean, as far as we know, I guess.
Which I think is going to be a weakness moving forward, right? Like this is an area that he maybe doesn't know how to just dominate with his power.
Yeah, like apparently it's something you can't just bowl through with sheer force. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe with sheer snakes. But
maybe.
So then we've got another occlumency lesson with Snape, where Harry So this is the one where Harry fights back, and Harry uses a shield charm to stop Snape looking in on him, and Harry gets into Snape's mind and sees some of Snape's memories.
Mm-hmm. Which is a little bit of a window into what sounds like a troubled childhood.
Yeah, it's not exactly birthday parties he's looking in on.
It's like his parents fighting and him getting made fun of, and just nothing happy by any means.
So does that change any of your thoughts on Snape? I mean, we're obviously going to get in later to more Snape memory. So maybe we should just save it for that.
Yeah, because it started to, and then it really added perspective with what happens later.
Yeah. Okay, we can just talk about it then. This scene rolls directly into Harry showing up at Trelawney's firing.
Yes.
So walk me through that.
Yeah, so Trelawney's like freaking out in what I think is just like the middle of the hallway. And there's like students gathered around and everything. She's like sobbing uncontrollably and shrieking and like freaking out. and Umbridge is just standing there smiling and explains to her like, oh, like, talking to her like she's a child, like she has everybody else, and just like, how did you expect, like, what did you expect? Like, you're a terrible teacher, and so I'm firing you. And
Is this the most aligned you are with Umbridge in your life?
um
Not that you totally agree, but you're like, I can't argue that she is not a terrible teacher.
I would never say that I'm aligned with Umbridge, but it's hard to defend
Yeah.
Trelawney's like skill set.
Right.
Because I don't think that Harry, Ron, or Hermione have learned really anything from that class. But she's just like, Umbridge is being super cruel about it and has kind of like humiliated her in front of the students.
Oh, yeah.
And McGonagall kind of tries to comfort her. And Dumbledore, it's kind of this epic scene where Dumbledore flies through the doors and is like, yeah, she's not leaving. You can fire her, but she's not leaving.
Dumbledore is just the master of these technicalities. Oh, yeah,
Right.
sure, fire her, but I don't know why you'd think you'd be able to send her away. And it's like, okay, Dumbledore. Like, obviously she thought that firing means leaving, but he's just able to, like, pull power moves with what power he does have left that is in the loopholes, I guess.
Yeah. He would be an excellent lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in Harry's trial, too.
Right.
And then that gets us, and then Umbridge is like, oh, yeah? Well, what about the next teacher that I'm going to put in that needs to use her room?
Right. And Dumbledore's just kind of like, oh, you mean the one I already hired that I'm about to introduce you to?
She's like, no, I get to hire teachers. He's like, Umbridge, read your own decrees. Like, it says you only get to hire people if I can't find someone. Like, chill out.
Yeah, this was probably one of the more satisfying moments so far of this book.
Yeah, so talk me through, I guess it's not talk me through, but we've got a couple, we can sort of lump these together. We've got the introduction here, and then the first divination class, but Ferenzi, the centaur, is the new teacher.
Yeah.
And that sounds awesome, dumb, cool?
Just peculiar. Kind of an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Especially after like the lesson and his whole like philosophy on this subject in general is just kind of like, okay, Trelawney wasn't good, but Ferenzi's just sort of like, yeah, I mean, you can't really trust anybody. Who really knows?
What is information?
Yeah. So it's I think it'll be an improvement.
He's not constantly saying that Harry's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that there's added credibility so far. But as far as like enhancing the educational experience, I don't know. But it also may be where like this subject in general is not one that you're just going to like walk away enlightened.
That's what I was going to say, is that this could just be a reflection on, who are you going to get? Are you going to get McGonagall to come teach this stuff? Like,
right.
Like someone we know is a good teacher?
Right.
Did you have any other thoughts on, I mean, as we transition to chapter 27 here, the lesson itself? Oh, I guess we've got a couple do we cares. We totally skipped over an entire Quidditch match. Do we care about Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff?
Oh, man, dude, with Harry being banned and Ron kind of sucks and Fred and George aren't out there, like, I've just kind of lost interest in Quidditch, unfortunately.
What I'm hearing is that even though Harry's banned, if Fred and George were still on the team, you would be into it, because that's how I feel. Like, I'd watch Quidditch just for Fred and George,
Yeah, well, because I think that you can still be a decent team without a great seeker.
Yeah.
You can't be a team minus you can't be a good team minus a great seeker and minus pretty much all your other talent as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hate to be like a fair weather fan, but I've just kind of lost interest.
So we don't really care about Ginny as Seeker.
I care that Ginny, if and when Harry comes back, will be a really useful crap. What's the name of like the offensive players?
Chaser.
Chaser. Yeah. She'll be a like I like that she has potential and that she's good,
Yeah.
but she's just a decent player on a sucky team right now.
Yeah. Good stats, bad team.
Yep.
She's the Bradley Beal of Hogwarts Quidditch right now.
She would probably be a decent flex play in Quidditch fantasy.
Yeah. Flex play, but not a Seeker 1.
Yeah, not a Seeker 1.
That's funny. I have so
Like,
many fantasy thoughts right now. We cannot get into them. It'll derail the entire pod.
Like Seeker 3, but pretty like snitch finding dependent.
What other Seeker stats are there? I like to think that you get a point for a Ronsky feint, at least.
Yeah. I guess that's true. Like finding the snitch is kind of what they do. So
Yeah. So every Seeker is inherently super boom bust.
that's true. So maybe I'm giving Ginny a harder time than I need to. She's not as good at finding the snitch. So it's like, you said, she's not a Seeker 1.
Based on the talent pool you're seeing right now, who is the number 1 pick in Hogwarts fantasy Quidditch? Quidditch.
With everybody with current bans in mind.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's tough. Because we don't even get to hear about a lot of the people. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't even know the full.
We know the people on the Gryffindor team. Cho is the Seeker on Ravenclaw. What round would you be comfortable drafting like Malfoy?
Well, so that was gonna be what I was gonna say. As I'm gonna make myself sick saying it, but like Malfoy might be your best Seeker.
Yeah. I mean, we don't necessarily trust Cho.
Right.
Hufflepuff, are we just writing off whoever the Hufflepuff Seeker is?
We just don't hear anything about Hufflepuff Quidditch,
Yeah.
you know?
Zachariah Smith is a chaser. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Cedric would have been a good pick last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Rip Cedric.
Yeah, taken too soon.
Dedrick.
Yeah, Dedrick. Literally rip. Okay, good, man. Love fantasy Quidditch talk. That'll have to be like a patrons only episode where we really like list out from the whole series. Like I want year 3 Oliver Wood, along with like year 7 Harry.
Absolutely.
Like what's that's like a Bill Simmons move.
Yeah.
Like you get the different vintages.
Yep. That would be, I think there'd be a lot there.
That'd be fun. So we're in chapter 27, The Centaur and the Sneak. Another big chapter. A lot going on here. We're going to we're not in Defense Against Dark Arts. We're going to Dumbledore's Army. And they're doing Patronuses. We're on page 606, 607. And I just really like this scene because everyone's like, "Oh, yay, Patronuses!" And Harry just keeps going, "Guys, don't get too excited. It's way too easy to do them in here. You don't even know what it's like against a real Dementor. Like it's a whole different thing."
Yeah, and Cho's just kind of like, "Hey, don't kill my vibe."
Yeah, let people enjoy things, Harry.
Yeah, but he is also right.
Yeah. It's one thing to do it with other Patronuses and everyone being happy.
Yeah.
And then our guy Dobby bursts in.
Dobby is clutch.
So you're pretty much gonna take it away for the rest of the chapter here. Just like what happened and what was your immediate reaction? We see Dobby and you're like, okay, did Winky OD? What's going on? What's going on with the Dobbs?
Yeah, that crossed my mind. Dobby. Well, initially it was just kind of like, where's Winky? But yeah, he's coming in basically to warn Harry that like Umbridge knows that there's a meeting going on, and she's on her way. So you guys need to get the heck out of here. And so they do.
See, I have a lot of questions here about Dobby's allegiance to Umbridge. Like, obviously, he doesn't like her, and he wants to warn Harry. Like, he's breaking a rule, but so she's his master, and he has to listen to her? Because I thought that he was her employee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Dobby and Dumbledore had a contract. Like, where did that go? Is he still getting paid?
That's a good question. There's a lot of contractual stuff there that, I mean, this could end up in court.
Yeah, like, is he going to have to sue for back wages? He's supposed to get 1 weekend off a month or something? Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Bring the quesadilla. Yes.
Yeah.
Feed him the quesadilla.
Give me just a second.
Tell her to feed you the quesadilla. You're not telling her. I think while you eat the quesadilla, Hannah's just going to have to come on and do the pod instead of you, like in your place.
That might work. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
Dobby comes in and warns them. He beats his face against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so Harry's like, guys, like, why are you still here? Like, sprint away immediately.
Yeah. So they all just like sprint in different directions, and Harry's trying to get the heck out of there, and Malfoy trips him because apparently Malfoy works for Umbridge now.
Yeah, sweet.
Which I think we all should have seen coming. And so from there, it's like Harry taken to Dumbledore's office to basically like Umbridge is thinking she's got it in the bag. Like, okay, I found him. I've got the evidence. One of Cho's friends is going to rat him out.
Frickin' Marietta.
Yeah, Fudge is waiting there. Kingsley Shacklebolt's there. Another one of Fudge's goons. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, plus Percy.
Plus Percy, who just eternally sucks.
Yeah. There's a scene of him being like, ha 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 ha, good joke, minister. And you're like, Percy,
Yes.
literally go die. Like, I have no time for this.
I just wish somebody would punch him in the throat. So I mean, from there, it's basically Dumbledore finding loopholes.
Yeah. He's just,
But did you think of
he
this?
very slowly, like, he doesn't just go, okay, here's my argument and I'm presenting it now. He like very slowly walks him through it so that Kingsley has time to like put Marietta under a spell so that she'll lie for them and stuff.
Right. And I kind of appreciate like his condescending manner about
Yes.
it.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like, wow, I'm really sorry, Umbridge, but as it turns out, you don't know the rules of your own decrees.
Yeah.
And this is why you can't just take Harry away. And you think you're going to put me in Azkaban, but you're not.
Yeah, he is, like, there's just no chance that they're going to actually drag him off to jail against his will. He's Dumbledore.
He is Dumbledore.
So he basically argues, hey, Hannah, come on the pod. He basically argues that unless Marietta confirms it, you can't prove that they've been having meetings this whole time. And so one meeting is just very different in terms of how, like, punishable it is, if this is the
Right.
first one.
Right. Which then is like crucial that Henrietta can't be like a damning witness, which
Yeah.
Shacklebolt basically takes care of.
Yeah, so Dumbledore says, well, they would be illegal if they had continued after the decree came into effect. Do you have evidence? And we're just like, evidence? I got bunches of evidence. Look at this girl. She's in evidence. And he says, "Oh, can she tell us about 6 months worth of meetings? I was under the impression that she was merely reporting a meeting tonight." Okay, tell us about the meetings. And she's like, "I'm not talking. Did you see the giant word that got written across my face?" What are your thoughts on sneak? And I mean, even later Cho's like, "That was mean. Hermione shouldn't have done that." And Harry's like, no, it was great. Like, she sneaked.
Yeah.
She's a sneak.
Hermione's kind of got like a nasty, vengeful side that I kind of like.
She does it to Rita.
Yeah, like she is capable of being a hard case, and I like that.
Yeah, Marietta she does seem scared that more is going to happen to her, but then, like we said, Kingsley also sort of helps us out by getting her to lie about how many meetings have happened, which is pretty convenient. It's convenient that Kingsley is on the good side here.
Yeah, but also like friggin' clutch whisper spell.
Yeah.
Like without anybody noticing, you just put that on her.
At first,
That's huge.
You think it's going to be Fox walking around because Harry's like, "I felt wings," or like a rush of air.
Right.
And it was the spell going past him, yeah.
It's impressive.
Do you like when Umbridge starts like violently shaking Marietta and Dumbledore's like, absolutely not. Like, we're not doing that tonight, ma'am.
Yeah, I did, and I was just kind of hoping that Dumbledore would like freak out and hit her with something, like a spell, like just kind of put her back in her place. I mean, everybody kind of like stands up, and it's like the classic tense scene in a movie where everybody reaches for their gun.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wish that Dumbledore would have been like, line crossed, bam.
It's kind of shocking to me that Fudge doesn't at least be like, "Okay, Umbridge, like maybe not that. Maybe not like screaming and shaking. Like, she's clearly lost control of her emotions there. And
Right,
she's supposed
like-
to be like the senior minister official."
Going to be tough to make a case for ourselves if we've also got child abuse going on. So,
Yeah, let's at least, if we're giving Fudge the benefit of the doubt to this point and think that he is sincerely against Dumbledore and thinks that like all these things are true, then he should at least want like due process to be followed here.
right.
And then we can talk about, I guess, Dumbledore's confession, quote unquote, and escape.
Yeah. So he just plays it, the Umbridge is kind of thinks that she's got the final say with like, okay, but look what they named their group, Dumbledore's Army. And Dumbledore just real smoothly kind of plays it, yeah, that's because I made all this up. You caught me.
Why do you think he takes the blame here for Harry?
Probably just because like he knows at the end of the day there's nothing they can do to him. So it's just like it's an act of protection for Harry. I don't fully know, really. It's kind of one of those things like he's like 2 steps ahead, but you don't really know how in the moment.
He would rather have to leave the school than Harry have to leave the school, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he makes his escape. He casts some sort of spell that like knocks everyone down. And then it's like, "Okay, here's the plan. You're going to do this, and then I'm going to leave, and it's going to be fine."
Yeah, so I think it also like wipes their memory for a little bit.
Well, they think that only 1 second has passed when really like 2 minutes has passed.
Oh, okay. So they'll wake up knowing that like, yeah, we talked to Dumbledore here in his office and we were gonna like take him into custody, but all of a sudden he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they know how they remember his confession and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They thought that he just like punched him and they went down and hopped right back up, and he got away in between then somehow.
I gotcha.
I like when he says, "Oh no, I'm not going into hiding. Like, I'm not going to go hang out with Sirius at Grimmauld Place. Like, he's just going to go on like a rampage, whirlwind tour of the country, just being like, hey, Voldemort's real. He's here. This is happening."
Yeah, his like unwavered confidence is
Yeah.
definitely reassuring. Obviously, probably for Harry and everybody else there, but like even as the reader.
Yeah. Like, you're not sure why, but you just 100% trust Dumbledore. Like, he's going to be fine and it's going to be fine.
Yep, he's fine.
Because
Harry's fine.
Dumbledore.
Everything's fine.
Even like the dog in the burning house meme. Like, this is fine. It's all fine.
Yeah,
We still
yeah,
have Dumbledore.
exactly.
That takes us to chapter 28, our last chapter here tonight. Snape's worst memory.
Yeah, this was a fascinating chapter.
Good. I'm glad you think so. I feel like we've just been kind of going through things and being like, wow, that happened. Wow, that happened. But I would love to hear some like deep thoughts here on some of these. So Umbridge is headmaster now, headmistress.
Yeah, and I feel like this is temporary. Like I'm not that worried about it. And frankly, if it is going to allow Fred and George to go into just full I don't give an F version of Fred and George, I'm here for it and I'm okay with it.
See, I could not agree more. Like, unhinged, unleashed Fred and George. Like they say,
It's the best kind of
we
Fred
don't
and George.
care about tests. We can't play Quidditch anymore. We never got expelled. Like, we always, we're here. We like Hogwarts. We like the kids.
It's like we were
good
hanging on by a
guys.
thread,
Yeah.
and that thread just got cut.
He's like, Hermione, walk me through why I shouldn't just like absolutely ruin Umbridge's life. And she can't.
Yeah, I love it. I hope there's more of it. This is like what Fred and George were born to do.
Yeah. It's to just cause mayhem. So Umbridge is the headmistress. We've got an inquisitorial squad. That's a thing that exists. Oh, actually, I wanted to do a quick do we care from the last chapter. Ferenzi mentioned that he feels like the last 10 years have been a break between the two wizarding wars. That there was a war before and there's going to be another war coming up. Do we take that seriously? Do we put a lot of stock in it? Do we care?
It was kind of just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like this has, they've enjoyed this time of peace with Voldemort being not like having a body. Now he's back. Like things are building. This is going to end up in a war. It was just, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. I think we knew that.
I think for me, the way I look at Ferenzi is he gets credence when he says things like, I'm not trying to like tell the future about like you're going to get burns tomorrow. Like that's not what seeing the future is. Like you can only look
Right.
at really broad strokes, not specific
Right.
things. And like so
Right.
very broadly, I think information can be gleaned, and something like that war then peace then war, like that's the kind of thing that like fits into that paradigm,
Yep, absolutely. That gave him a lot of credibility in my mind and probably in the students.
Yeah. He's not out here like, do you know someone whose name starts with J? Oh, you've suffered a great loss, like doing the like psychic thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Umbridge is the headmistress now, and she straight up made a team of goons. Like it should be called the Goon Squad. She gave Malfoy and frickin' like Crabbe and Goyle and whoever else, someone named Montague, ?
Yeah.
They're allowed to take points now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, her authority and use of it is comical. It sucks and it's real, but it's hard to even take it seriously anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is why Fred and George are just like, yeah, we're done. Like this is a joke. We don't want to be here anyways, and if this is who's going to be in charge of us, like, yeah, we're gonna freak out right now.
Like, it's fascism, like you said, to a comical degree. It's one thing to like have a government take over and be like, okay, we've got some new rules going on, like new law and order. This is how we're gonna do things. But it's another thing to just come in screaming and be like, no, only my favorite people get to have candy. Like you can't just freak out. You're not going to be a respected leader that way.
Yeah. It's not like any of it surprises me
Yeah.
from her end, but I feel like it's more telling of like how paranoid Fudge is.
He's signing all these papers.
Right. And he is so freaked out about his reputation and like keeping his job title that he's just like he reads these decrees and still says, yeah, okay. Like, yep, I'll sign off on that.
She could be like, Fudge, make it so that I get cake for all my meals and then I sit on a 10-foot throne. And he's just signing blindly.
Or maybe she is using some sort of spell
Yeah.
to forge his signature and he has no
Oh,
idea.
interesting.
He's like, I don't want to know. Just make sure that nobody thinks Voldemort's
She's got a
back
rubber stamp of his signature.
Right. Like maybe it's just kind of like Fudge has told her like, look, don't bother me with the details. Just make sure Harry and Dumbledore stay quiet.
Yeah. So then now she's calling Harry in, and he's in her office.
Yeah, so she's got what I would assume Veritaserum, is that right?
So you're directly there. You're like, here's what's happening. She's giving Harry a truth potion. Because it doesn't say that.
Absolutely. No, she's
Okay.
like super intent that he takes a drink.
Yeah.
Like she's like, "Can I get you anything to drink?" Which red flag immediately.
Yeah.
Her acting like she gives a frick about Harry. And even he's kind of like, no, I'm good. Thanks.
And
Now all of a sudden he's on alert and she's like,
Yeah.
"No, you're going to have a drink with me."
She's
So
so
pick
bad
one.
at it.
Yes,
Like,
she's
I don't know
terrible.
if you want to call it spycraft or like espionage or just trying to like
Just
be like halfway chill for 5 seconds.
Sorry. Taking a bite.
It's okay. Is it a delicious quesadilla?
It's super
Is it a
good.
kitchen fresh quesadilla?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, high praise.
Yeah, so she's just kind of like, "No, you will have a drink, so pick one." And then she pours it for him. And then she just stares at him and waits for it. Like you said, she's so bad at this.
She's terrible.
Just really intently watching him. So Harry even like puts it to his mouth multiple times and takes like a fake drink.
Yeah. Pours it
And if
down
she-
his own face. Like doesn't even dump it in a plant.
And she still doesn't notice. Like she sucks at this. If she's watching as intently as JKR makes it sound, she should be able to figure out that he's not actually drinking this.
Yeah.
But good on Harry
It's
for
insane.
having like the moment of insight of like, huh, I feel like, who is it that he sees in his mind? Is it Mad Eye?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I feel like Mad Eye would be mad if I drank this. I'm not going to.
Like that's a good way to live life is think about like what would Mad Eye say if he knew that I had taken a drink
Right.
from an enemy?
What would
He'd be
Mad Eye
like,
do? Yeah.
I hate you. You're the worst. Your vigilance was not constant.
It was not constant at all.
You get a T for temporary vigilance.
Yeah.
And then
So
her
Harry
two-
does a good job of not
her-
drinking it.
yeah.
And
Her
she
questions
thinks
are
that he
interesting.
did. Right. She wants to know where Dumbledore is,
Mhm.
which at this point I don't think Harry actually knows, even
Yeah.
if he had drank that.
Yeah.
So he's not lying. And then realizes she can't get that out of him, so she wants to know where Sirius Black is. This one he gets a little more nervous, but still pulls it off.
He like just keeps pretending to drink. Where is Sirius Black? I don't know. Search me. She doesn't ask him, I don't know, about the Order of the Phoenix, or, I mean, she could ask him, like, what did you really see in the graveyard? Like, is Voldemort back? Like, why are you lying about that? Like, there's a lot of, seems like more
Yeah,
relevant. Did you
for
have all these
me,
meetings?
for me, this scene was like almost a little bit comforting in that, okay, like Umbridge isn't as on top of things as we might have been led to believe.
Yeah,
Like she has power and she's going to make their lives miserable, but she's not like an evil genius.
right.
She's just kind of in the way and annoying.
Yeah, and so it's comforting that she's not an evil genius planner, but it's, for me, it's not super comforting to know that, like, she is just doing all of this out of, like, incompetence, and, like, she's just fueled by hate, not like an intelligence or revenge or like something
Yeah,
that's making
comforting
her do
wasn't the
well.
best word.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Like, it's good. It is comforting to know that Harry's not like trapped in some spiderweb plan,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's one of those things where, like, recklessness can make an enemy that much more dangerous. It's like fighting the Hulk versus fighting Thanos or something. I mean, Thanos is both. Thanos is also really strong, but, like, Hulk is just like smash, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we talked a little bit about already the fireworks and the Weasley twins kind of going off and dropping their last pretenses. The best part of that we've seen so far here on 633 is when the other teachers are all like, "Oh, well, that's technically not a transfiguration thing, so I guess, like, I'm not qualified to do it. Gonna have to have Umbridge come here and do it." And so, like,
Yep.
her little, like, short, stubby legs are, like, sprinting all around the castle so that she can put fireworks out, in Minerva McGonagall, like, incredibly accomplished witch who could do it, like, in her sleep.
Right. That's another. It's another like super satisfying scene from these 4 chapters.
Yeah, absolutely love it. "Thank you so much, Professor," said Professor Flitwick in his squeaky little voice.
I could have gotten rid of the sparklers myself, of course, but I wasn't sure whether I had the authority.
Well done. That was good.
Thank you. It was squeaky and little, I thought.
Definitely.
"Weasley's wildfire whiz-bangs," George said. "Only thing is, we used our whole stock. We're going to have to make a bunch of more fireworks."
They weren't wasting their time after all.
Yeah, like, people have got to be lining up for that stuff.
Absolutely.
So Harry does have another dream here. We've got more corridors. We kind of skipped over it with previous dream discussion, but he made it to the end of the corridor and into a room with more doors. Is that a good description of where we are?
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as he can get now? What's that telling you? Is that real? Is that like Voldemort's making progress? Are we worried about that?
It's not as worrisome as I expected, like after him getting through that door, because it just means that there's more questions than there are answers right now.
Yeah, it wasn't just like one step that was blocking him, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are we to the pensive with Snape? Yep.
Yes, yeah. Well, we do have Harry's conversation with Cho on 637 I wanted to bring up. Like, they're about to make up. Because Cho's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know Marietta was going to do that." And he's like, "I mean, yeah, she was like a jerk." And Cho's like, "She's a really lovely person. She just made a mistake." And Harry's like, "Shut up."
Yeah. I think
It's like Harry likes Cho, and then she starts to talk, and, like, that's when he stops to like her.
which is why I don't see this relationship lasting.
Purely physical.
Yep, seems that way.
Harry, I thought it was a brilliant idea. Oh, yes, I forgot. Of course, if it was darling Hermione's idea, and Harry just goes, don't start crying again. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that, Joe.
That's a cold move there by Harry.
It's so real, though. It's like, it was biting. It was a good dig. Like, Harry doesn't get in good. Harry's usually the one, like, getting dug in conversations, but it was good.
Right.
She sold us all out, including you. Cho says, we all got away, didn't we? Oh, yeah, except for Dumbledore. And Harry literally didn't get away. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we are 2 occlumency lessons, and they're about to get started, and Draco comes in, and he's like, oh, sorry, Professor. And he goes, it's okay, I'm just giving Harry remedial potions. Like, he did unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
Just brings it up as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to let you kind of take it away here. You can go into describing the memory as much as you want, or you can just give us your takeaways, like hit the highlights, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go broad. The Snape has to... apparently Montague has come back and is like stuck or something, so Draco's there to tell him that, so he's like, I gotta go get him out. So that leaves Harry alone with the pensive. So Harry, obviously being the curious boy that he is, goes ahead and jumps right into that, gets into Snape's worst memories, maybe, or some of the worst, and we end up spending a lot of time with Snape as a like young teenager, kind of at Hogwarts, and then it's James Potter and Sirius and Wormtail, and Remus Lupin, all kind of like they're just this like gang of buddies, and as it turns out, they are super mean to Snape. They make fun of him a lot. They do a lot of like unnecessary like pranks on him. And like from at least the way the memory describes it, like Snape wasn't really bothering them or anything. So this was like I said earlier, just super fascinating because I feel like up until now, James Potter has been painted as like this ultimate hero that we just never really got to know. But, you know, I'm sure Harry was a lot like him. And they are like him and Lily are just like these saintly figures that are kind of supposed to be super positive characters in our mind as the reader.
Very, very two-dimensional to this point.
Right. And so this adds this whole dimension of like, no, actually, James was kind of an arrogant jerk. And Lily didn't really like him to start off with. It adds a lot of like perspective and maybe even some sympathy for Snape. We know that he had a sucky childhood at home, and it wasn't any better when he came to school. And a lot of that was because of Harry's dad. Now, I was feeling legitimately bad for Snape during this whole memory until he throws the mudblood comment at Lily.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, you were like a hateful tool then too. So like, yeah, you didn't deserve a lot of this, but maybe some of it because you're a racist.
And I mean, he does, you know, James had been hanging him upside down and doing like the bubbles in his mouth and stuff. But Snape's response is to like slash him in the face with a curse and like make him bleed and stuff.
Right.
So
yeah, it was just, I mean, the big takeaways are, you know, maybe James isn't as great as we thought he was. And there's a whole lot more to Snape as a character to consider than just like, man, he's just a jerk to Harry for no reason. Like, I think if like I had that kind of childhood with Harry's dad, like Harry wouldn't be my favorite student either.
I mean, he looks just like him. He worships the memory of him.
Right. I'm sure that dredges up like a lot of those memories for Snape.
Yeah. And on top of the stuff we've already heard of, like when Sirius tried to get him to go down to see Lupin as a werewolf and some of those kinds of things.
Right. Right. So ultimately, Snape comes back and finds him there and gets super angry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
throws
He's
him
so
out.
mad.
Doesn't want to see him again. And Harry just kind of sprints off and doesn't say much. That's where we're left. But I think it says enough for us as the reader to imply that like even Harry gains some perspective on like, wow, my dad was definitely arrogant, just like Snape has told me.
Yeah, Harry clearly it doesn't just like brush this off and is like, oh, yep, classic old racist jerk Snape. Like, he's affected by it. And you almost wish that Snape would give Harry the chance to say that. Because Snape comes in and he's like, oh, look at you, just reliving the glory days. Like, I bet you loved that. And if he gave Harry a chance to be sincere, he'd be like, no, like, that was horrible. Like, I'm so sorry that my dad bullied you. Like, that was, like, I'm not okay with it. I mean, he might not have the maturity to say all of that, but, like, that would be what he would want to say.
Right. And I kind of thought it was going to go there. And like you said, like, I mean, Harry didn't really have the chance, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with occlumency lessons from here on out. And if Harry gets the chance to at least, say, hey, I don't like the way my dad treated you.
Yeah, I wondered what your thoughts were as far as what that's gonna look like going forward. If we're gonna be able to continue occlumency lessons, or if there's gonna be a break here for a little while. How this is gonna affect the Harry-Snape dynamic. I mean, Snape said, "Get out, get out. I don't want to see you in this office ever again." On 6.
Yeah, and I mean, he's in the moment and he's mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ultimately Dumbledore's going to be like, look, you don't have a choice.
Right.
So it's going to be awkward and it's probably going to be more painful. And I feel like Harry is going to have to say something about it. Like, it's not one of those things you can just let it ride and hope that it doesn't get brought up again.
Yeah, for sure. But this does, I mean, like you said, there's sympathy for Snape, and then there's also more examples of him being terrible. So it doesn't so much totally shift your perspective on him, but it just adds more color and more points to both sides.
Yes. Yeah. It's like easier to understand why. It doesn't justify, but it's easier to understand why Snape feels the way about Harry that he does.
And about Sirius.
Right.
Sirius, like, they're supposed to be on the same team right now, and he, like, this is a dude that actively bullied him.
Yeah. Yep.
Directly. So
that'd be tough.
That's tough. Yeah. We, on the Muggles' perspective, want to come out as anti-bullying. We are against bullying. So that is bad. We feel bad for Snape about that. Just be unambiguous about that. Do we care here? Do we care about Montague and the Vanishing Cabinet?
Initially, not really.
Okay. Fair enough. That's just the only other inquisitorial member we've heard about so far. But we can kind of guess like who it would be. It's not like it's going to be Harry and Ron. So.
Right.
That brings us to the end of chapter 28. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to do a full 4 chapters next week. We do have Carla coming on before too terribly long here.
Sounds good.
No, it looks like we'll get up to 29 through 32, and then from there we're going to need to chop it up a little bit. It'll be right after that.
Okay.
Yep. So that'll be good. Got some whoppers coming up in the next couple of chapters here. Braden, think you're going to enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we, as always, really appreciate you guys listening. If you have stuck around to this point, thank you so much for sticking with us, for supporting us on Patreon. Our number of Patreon supporters has only gone up. And we are just incredibly appreciative of that. I don't think I have Patreon as an app, so I can't look up exactly who we're talking about here. But we thank you so much. Anyone that's able to give any amount helps us to be able to do things like giveaways and buy equipment and things like that. Hopefully, eventually, we'll get Braden to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando. Put out some video content. That would be pretty amazing. If you would like to contribute to that, I feel like we haven't said the Patreon link in a while. Patreon.com/MugglesPerspective. Maybe it's a Muggles Perspective. I think it's just Muggles Perspective, though. Or the link is also in our show notes and can be found on our Facebook page and possibly on our Instagram page as well. And definitely at our website, mugglespodcast.com. Go there for links to everything, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and we would love to hear from you. We'd love to see some posts on Facebook and stuff like that. We also have, if you'd like to communicate directly with us, a hotline. We call it the Howler. Braden, if they want to howl in, what's the number they would call?
That is 978-768-8370.
978 Potter 0, right? Potter.
Yes, sir.
So you can call or text that number. Let us know what you think about fantasy Quidditch. What else did we talk about this episode? Not a lot of rabbit trails. We were so on it. We really didn't have we didn't have really any pop culture references or sports references. Besides fantasy, I guess.
Yeah. We stayed out of the weeds here.
Yeah, stayed out of the weeds. Hopefully you like that. Maybe you didn't like that. Complain to us about it. We'd love to hear your complaints via Howler. Thank you so much to whom I'm missing. Jeremy and Jessica. Rachel. Rachel's been doing some pre-editing, listening through and showing and writing down timestamps of where Jessica will need to edit. So that's been helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else before we sign off here, Braden?
I don't think so. Thanks again for everybody listening. Thanks, Jeremy and Jessica, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.